All right, this is TickTick. I put it down on the bar. I leave notifications on so it shows me what I'm going to be doing today. It will always open on the task bar that you had before. So I had it on one of the process engineers, Ryan, and so now I have it on today, and this tells me everything that needs to get done today or I would like to get done. What we end up doing is we've got a pro account, and Debbie and I can put folders and then have subfolders inside of that for each one of our process engineers. And when we do that, then we can click on theirs. They have a free account so that they can just have their names and we share that with them. Debbie then comes through the night before and she lists out all the tasks that she needs done. So she'll put a header on it, she'll put where it needs to be done, and then she'll give a list, a checklist of things that need to get done. They can also comment, and we can comment back and forth, and it's really awesome because it tells you who did the commenting, it tells you when they did it and what time they did it. And in this case, he's telling us what his different harvests are. We'll take that and we'll put it into another app and use that to track for our organic certification. And then we'll have information in here, and he can tell us what he did. We also weigh our seeds before and after he does the seeding so that we can then do the math and we can start seeing how our seed work gets done throughout the year and how much we need and stuff like that. We can assign it to a day for the person to do. So if they're going to be working, let's say on the 4th, we can assign it to that particular day by pressing any day on the calendar. And then you can also set up a time that you want it to be done by. Time is usually for us is a way for Deb to show them the priority of how she wants things progressed and done through the day. So then they can click and open up their folder and they can sort by time, and that way they know what Deb has as the most important thing. You can set up reminders for it, and you can also set up a repeat. You can clear it if you don't want to have it. Now, if somebody doesn't finish a task, what ends up happening is we move it over to the farmhand, the generic farmhand folder. That's the one that only Deb and I share, and this has information in here like they only got done with bed 201. So she takes it off of somebody's work list so that they don't have to be reminded by it or that it's due or late or anything like that. She'll move it over to the farmhand. Then it's real easy that you click on it and you go in and you want to move it back over to Alex's, let's say, and then you just move it real simple like that. The cool thing about assigning it to a certain day and doing repeatable tasks is that you can go through here. Let's see, Ryan's got a really neat one. He does packaging on Mondays and Thursdays only. So this is a specific 1S time that is set up and it has specific tasks to do only on Monday and Thursday afternoons after he's done packaging. So you can go into on the repeat and you can click on that. And you can also go into the custom dates and you can set up what exact days of the week that you need that done. It's really cool because we have unique calendars sometimes. Then you can also go into repeat ends if, let's say, we're at the end of our season and we stop packaging. December 15th is our last day. So we can put that on there, and this will automatically end this task for us on December 15th, so nobody gets annoyed through the off season with all of these notifications. Another cool thing that we can do that we just started doing is we can assign a project that we want built. And he's going to do it with Bree. Bree's got a very similar one on hers as well. So this is what we need. We need a rolling cart for the radishes and the head lettuce harvesting. And these are all of the items that the criteria that we need met in order to have this rolling cart thing fit our needs. So they need to go through there and they need to see that it needs all-terrain wheels, and then the wheels need to rest in the paths and not in the beds. So that means they got to go measure a path and they got to make sure that the wheels are on the outside of that. And it kind of explains what we are kind of picturing in our heads, what we want it to look like, but it just needs to meet these basic criteria. And then they have their creativity, they can do whatever they want with it. And then they just click it off when they're done with it. Another really cool thing that Deb and I can do on the Pro version is we can add as many photos or videos to a task that we want. They can only add one video or I think maybe even one photo a day, but that's no big deal for them because they don't really need to do photos. We do photos through WhatsApp. So I needed Brian to tack weld this thing that I'm creating right here. Well, I don't really know what to call it. I know what I'm going to do with it. He doesn't know what, even if I called it what I was going to do with it, he wouldn't know what it was. So I leave it out for him on the shop and I show the picture of it. I can even go in here and after I take a picture of it, I can go and circle it with a pen. and tell him exactly where I want those tack welds if it were that important to me. Then the really cool other thing is that I can add videos. I'm not going to play this particular video because as soon as I do, the voice memo turns off. But he can click on that video and it comes up and it actually points out where I want him to be and exactly what I'm looking for him to do so that he can kind of see it on the ground while I'm out there, and it can kind of make it easier to understand. Another cool feature is that in the Pro version, you have a calendar. You can click on that. It gives you kind of a nice overview of the days and the months ahead. It's all color-coded because we color-code our process engineers. Each individual employee has their own color to it, and so we can kind of see what's going to happen. It's pretty blank right now because we haven't started up for the next week yet and assigned tasks, but it'll be pretty full, and then I can take a glance at it, Debbie can take a glance at it, and we can kind of see where people are going to be and what we're covering and what kind of tasks and if we've overfilled the thing and what's going to happen the next day. I can also use it for different categories. So I have big folders and then I have subfolders underneath that for like shopping's a really good example because we go to different places. The person that's next to the 3 lines shows that you share it, and Debbie and I share some of these lists. Really good one is Home Depot. She can put something on the Home Depot list. The next time I'm at Home Depot, I look on the list and I go, oh, okay, I need that. So I need to go pick that up. Another cool thing is you can take pictures of ideas that you have, like bathtub drain. Well, I know what that is now because I was working on the production building yesterday, but I may not get to Home Depot for another week or two, and I may forget what bathtub drain means and what I have on there. So I can go in there, and you can see I've actually got a picture of the bubbler, and I can it gives me a little bit of dimensions and sizing, what I can kind of see what I would need to fit that order. And it also reminds me as to exactly what it was with the bathtub drain. What the heck is a bathtub drain? Something else that I end up doing is I'll add tags to different things. Like this is a really good example. I've already got a bunch of different places that we shop and stuff like that, and I can just keep going ad nauseum. Drip Depot is a place that we don't order from very often, but when we do, they have specialty items. They have a 1 1/2 inch sprinkler valves. So instead of setting up a special Drip Depot that's always in the way, it's always part of the list and everything, and I got to spin past it, what I do is I end up going into something that's similar to it, like Home Depot. And I click on that, and then what I'll do is I'll add a tag. In this particular case, I've got Drip Depot there. So when I am going, then I can go up to the top, and under tags, there's Drip Depot. So if I had a list of like 14 or 15 different things, and maybe they were even in different folders, they would all come up as Drip Depot. Now, as soon as I click that off, I check that box off that I bought it and stuff like that, this under the tags, it goes away. So now I don't have to fiddle with it. If I don't have anything with Drip Depot, it just disappears. But next time I have something with Drip Depot, I just add a tag to it, and I'm good to go. So that's essentially how we use TickTick around here on the farm, and it's been really good. It's a wonderful, powerful tool that process engineers have taken on immediately, and they've done a great job with. It gives Debbie and I a great amount of control. It's one of the few apps that she and I have been able to work back and forth on and keep track of things. I can move things in here. I can type things in here, and she can take things out and move them to somebody else. I can take things out and move them to somebody else. Like she may have seating under Ryan's, and for this particular case, maybe it's a difficult place and Ryan hasn't had as much experience on the seater, so I want Brett to do it that day. Or I can say, hey, Brett, I want you to train Ryan in these tight areas, and so I can assign that task and then add it to Brett's page, and also I can add it to Ryan's page saying, hey, Brett's going to help you out on that, so hunt him down when you're ready to seed.